Rhodes will snap. Sanchez will hold. And the kick is no good. Denver's gonna win. Denver's gonna win.
Hold up.
Psych. Leverage. Defense number 96.
Now it is a 45-yard field goal. This for the win. Spencer Schrader. It's good, and the Colts have won. A game-winning 45-yard field goal. When it appeared after missing a 60 that the Broncos had won. And then the flag after the ball had missed. And Daniel Jones, in his second start for the Colts, has taken them to another win. The owner likes it. And the Colts are 2-0. And the Broncos fall to 1-1.
Legitimately, I don't know what I'm even supposed to say at this point, because as you guys know, if you guys have watched my past videos, I liked Anthony Richardson. I didn't even like Anthony Richardson. I legitimately thought he was going to be the future of the Indianapolis Colts, and now seemingly after 2 games, that is so obviously not going to be the case anymore. Daniel Jones, after playing the Broncos, he went 23 of 34. That's a 67.6 completion percentage, 316 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, a 107 rating. His yards per attempt were 9.3, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing because his career average beforehand never exceeded 7. So the 9.3 yards per attempt against a legitimate defense, and I mean, comparatively, it looks like Bo Nix had a 6.9 against our, there's no way else to say it. Our defense was kind of dog shit for the first 3 quarters, I'm not going to lie. Even the rushing game the Broncos had, like, I feel like they definitely could have ran the ball more than they did. J.K. Dobbins only getting 14 attempts for 76 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 5.4 yards a carry. And obviously, we got to talk about that those last few moments of the game where, yeah, it was fucking crazy. I mean, obviously, the leverage call, Spencer Schrader, getting a second chance to win the game, that was absolutely crazy. I will say, win or lose, this was definitely a pretty damn good game, especially offensively. I mean, Danny Dimes, you can't forget about Jonathan Taylor either, with his 25 attempts for 165 yards on the ground and an additional, let's see here, 2 targets, 2 receptions for 50 yards and a touchdown. I mean, what the fuck, dude? How could you complain? And also, I've been noticing his pass blocking has been, it went from like F- to B+ in 1 year. Like, it's absolutely insane what Jonathan Taylor's been able to do in the pass protection. Obviously, defensively, we had a pretty bad game up until that 4th quarter started. I think, honestly, the MVP's got to go to Cam Bynum for that absolutely massive touchdown. I mean, interception that definitely turned momentum into the Colts' favor when it was 100% Broncos momentum at that point in time. I'd say the second best player on our defense by far, probably definitely Nick Cross. I mean, the amount of open field tackles that he successfly made that game when our defense was back on its heels was impressive. And obviously Tyler Warren with the leading the team in yards again with 7 targets, 4 receptions, 79 yards, 19.8 yards per reception is crazy, man. Colston Loveland, by the way, I think I saw he had like two catches for like a yard or something. Like, it's super bad over there. Thank you, Bears, for Tyler Warren. I appreciate that. But the narrow win, 29-28, hey, we'll take it. We're starting off 2-0 for the first time, and I feel like in my life, bro, I can't even remember the last time I've been able to say that. I think I was like 9 years old the last time we started 2-0, so I'm definitely not going to complain. I mean, what is there to complain about? Like, even defensively, we were out Charvarius Ward and Jalen Jones. Those are our top 3 corners in the room at this point. And Xavier Howard had a awful game defensively. He was horrible. Missing tackles, obviously the DPIs were not good. Xavier Howard, that was definitely a game to forget, especially since you had your chance to kind of prove yourself as a number 2 at least on this team. And right now, I definitely have more confidence in Jalen Jones whenever he's available. I really don't think Xavier Howard should have been able to come in here out of nowhere and just take all of Jalen Jones's snaps, especially considering the fact that, I mean, Jalen Jones, he was a bona fide special teamer in game 1 and probably would have been in this game too, all because we signed Xavier Howard and they just kind of gave him the keys for that second cornerback position. And that's something that I never really agreed with. And obviously he got his chance to prove himself as our corner, our number 1 corner. And that just did not work at all. We also didn't have Leatu Latu. That was a big miss. Definitely missed Latu. I feel like there was a couple dropbacks that Bo Nix had that if we had that one like super speed, speed rusher there who can kind of do whatever in the backfield when he gets there, I feel like definitely probably would have became a sack. I feel like Tyquan Lewis, like he's good, but he doesn't have like the speed to close on sacks, and it's still a big question mark with Tyquan Lewis, and he's getting pretty old now. I think we pretty much know what we got with him, and that is a very serviceable defensive end. But the star of the day, obviously clear cut, has to be Daniel Jones. I mean, we do not win this game without that performance. He had a couple throws there. Maybe I'll show them. I'll try to edit in a few of them if I can. He had some absolutely amazing dimes throughout that entire game. It blew my mind, honestly. Anytime I really doubted him throughout the game, he just kind of proved me wrong directly afterwards. Like, it's gotten to a point where, like, my distrust in Jones might actually reflect and be because of Anthony Richardson at this point, and Joe Flacco, and Gardner Minshew, and all the quarterbacks that we've had in the past who have not shown an ounce of what Daniel Jones has been showing this season, and it's unbelievable. I mean, what was the stat? We were 10 for 10, no punts so far throughout 2 games, first time ever in the Super Bowl era. We're 2-0 for the first time since Peyton Manning made the Super Bowl in 2009. Like, you really can't complain, and I feel like such a dumbass for uploading those Richardson videos and then taking a break afterwards. Obviously, I mean, I had some personal things. I was moving and all that stuff, but Daniel Jones, just wow, man. I mean, and he's not even using his legs on the ground either. He had 6 attempts for 2 yards and a touchdown. So I mean, like, he can get the ball in there if it's like close to the red zone, but realistically, we're really not using his legs like we could be, and that's something that we haven't even unlocked yet throughout the 2 games that we've played so far. And what impresses me the most this game is watching how like dominant their defense was against the Titans last year. And granted, that might be because of the Titans, but this is a legitimate defense with legit players like Patrick Surtain, Hufanga's really nice safety. They got Moss there at corner. Obviously, Benito there at the edge. Like, they have some really good players there back there on defense, and it's fucking crazy, actually. And we just demolished them offensively. So it's like, there's really no, like, why doubt them at this point, Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones, they've given me no reason to doubt them from now on going forward, and I think it should be I think the same can be said for a lot of not only Colts fans out there, but former Richardson believers. I'd still like to call myself a Richardson because I feel like if Daniel Jones gets hurt, I think he'd be able to replace Daniel Jones at a high level. Maybe definitely not nearly as efficient as Daniel Jones has been because he's been breaking records so far. But I feel like Anthony Richardson would still be able to step in and win games, But my belief in Richardson has definitely sank quite a bit ever since the season started, especially after this game, playing a bona fide top 5 defense and not punting once. What? Yeah, there's no reason for me not to believe in this team right now, and it's crazy for me to say after 2 weeks with how this team has performed prior, because like I said, since 2009 we're 2-1 or 2-0, and I feel like we've started 0-1 for a decade straight. So it's like, how could you doubt? Why would you doubt at all? Next week we got the Titans. We're facing Cam Ward. I think it's going to be we should definitely win that game and be 3-0 to start the season, which is absolutely insane for me to say, but it's like, it's the Titans. I mean, they're not really in a rebuild right now. They're ready to start winning now, but they haven't won. So it's like, how could you doubt us being able to win that game? So, you know. But yeah, Daniel Jones, MVP of the Colts right now, easily, not even close. I'd say second best player, Jonathan Taylor. Third best, Tyler Warren. Fourth best, Cam Bynum at this point. And obviously DeForest Buckner, he's been sneaky, very good, and as well as Grover Stewart as well. Honestly, everyone on our defense has been playing great outside of our outside corners. Even Mekhi Blackman had a pretty decent game. Honestly, the only defender that had a horrible game last game was Xavier Howard, giving Troy Franklin, of all players, 89 yards, and then allowing Marvin Mims that touchdown there. But yeah, guys, next week we got the Titans. Expect a video about that soon. And yeah, just wanted to rant off real quick. We're on to next week, so should be fun. See ya.